Hello there, and welcome to Daniel's Infinite Playlist. And today we're going to review the excellent debut album from Dorian Electra, which is called Flamboyant. And for those of you who don't know who Dorian Electra is, well, Dorian Electra is an artist that has been featured, for example, in Charlie XCX's famed mixtape Pop 2. But Dorian Electra's career trail is actually a lot. I mean, it's like super impressive. From doing lauded, how to say, music, how to say, praising an Austrian economist, to doing like very like politically charged music that has gained national attention. Dorian Electra has been constantly breaking barriers in the music industry, and now they are doing it by, how do you say, changing the norms of what we perceive as masculine and feminine, and that you actually can mix both and make something really, really beautiful. And if I wasn't clear enough before, Dorian Electra identifies themselves as non-binary and gender fluid, which is actually one of the many themes that come from the music. Anyways, how is it to listen to this album? Well, it's a bit like this. Alright, I'm going to show you the actual album cover art. Unfortunately, I mean, there is a physical version. I think there's a vinyl version that is super fabulous. However, I don't have any money, so it'll have to be just with a digital release. Anyways, here's the album cover art, and it's just amazing. And that's like one of the typical Dorian Electra looks, you know, being just very flamboyant, and it does both the music and the aesthetic justice, and it's just so cool. I love it. It's amazing. Oh, and of course, there's Dorian Electra themselves. And here you see like some of the other looks that Dorian Electra has. Alright, so now back to the actual review. How is this album musically? Well, musically, this album takes a lot of cues from, like the modern techno bubblegum pop renaissance that has been happening ever since the label PC Music has been getting attention. However, this is a step that doesn't, they do sound a bit like PC Music, but not at all, because you can actually see that Dorian Electra has crafted their own imaginative world that is just so beautiful, and it's just so amazing, because it's both danceable, it's cool, it's hip, it goes from euphoric Eurodance beats on Guyliner to a little bit more subversive and jarring electro cuts like Live by the Sword and such. However, I wish that the album was a bit more, just like the first 5 songs of the album, because they're just amazing. And I of course love Guyliner and Freaky for Life. They are amazing songs. However, it's the more how to say, harder songs, like the one paired with a guitar and everything. I see why they wanted to include them in the album, and thematically it fits the album's themes very well. However, I think they kind of bring the album down into a very, how do you say, into a halt, because it feels, just so happy and so, like, yeah, but then it just goes down, like this. However, with repeated listens you kind of get it, but still I feel that it should have been made better, like for example, like in the song Emasculate or in the song Freaky for Life, they actually do, like a good, how do you say, blend between the two. So yeah, how is this album lyrically? Well, lyrically, this album deals with a lot of themes of gender fluidity, mainly how to subvert the masculine gays and make it, you know, like super queer and super, how do you say, gender fluid. And they actually do that in such an amazing way. It actually feels like, how do you say, one of the highest forms of expression, of just subverting what is, you know, feminine and what is masculine, and just making it your own. And I actually feel that Dorian Electra owns their own, how do you say, identity, and they do it with such bravado or bravura that is just so amazing. I think it's great, and it actually shows the world that being masculine doesn't mean that you have to, you know, just go out and you know, chop woods or chop wood or drink beer or anything, but it can actually be a, how do you say, a mix, a fluid, how do you say, a fluid state of both femininity and masculinity. And that's what I say as well, is that you can't be truly masculine unless you blend in a lot of, and I say a lot of, femininity in your identity as well. So yeah, thank you so much for, how do you say, steering us into the future, Dorian Electra. And I'm really pleased that we finally have an artist that actually, how do you say, asks the questions on why we do have these identities, and they do it by giving us this anthemic and danceable pop music. So yeah, what do I give this album? Well, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a great debut album. However, it gets carried down a bit, you know, by the as before mentioned, jagged songs. There's one song that's called Musical Genius, and I understand why it's there, and I understand that it's an attempt of being more experimental, and it's a cool song by itself, but just like, I don't know, it's a bit jarring, like in an album sense sort of way. And also the songs Live by the Sword and Adam Steve. I actually like Adam and Steve, you know, like the lyrics, but I don't know, it feels as if they could have been made just a little bit better, you know, perhaps with more experimentation on the techno bubblegum sort of way. Otherwise, I'm just really happy that this album exists. It's an important album for, I think, for humanity and for the future and everything, and I think that everyone should just listen to it. So yeah, I mean, I'm just super happy that it's here, and I think I'm going to listen to it a bit more now that I mention it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I'm going to put the artist links down below. Dorian Electra is available everywhere, so yeah, just get on listening to it and stream their music, because I think they're totally worth it. And I haven't seen a lot of reviews on Dorian Electra's album, you know, like published reviews. So I think you should totally give them, I mean, help them by listening to their music. So yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, I'm going to put new album reviews every Wednesday and classic album reviews every Saturday. And if this was your first video with me, then please give a like and subscribe, as I'd really appreciate it. And if you're interested in just in new music and all of that, I'll be sure to review it. And if you like this album, then, well, or didn't like it, then please give a comment below. I really appreciate it. And anyways, I'll see you next week. Enjoy music, enjoy life, people. Vi ses. Hej då!